Coming up on Your Money and Your Life, the milestone birthday that can change your super. The secrets of successful investing. We asked you how much you think is enough to retire comfortably. Plus, in Kochie's Budget Challenge, parents of twins get one of our biggest budget surprises yet. Hello and welcome to Your Money and Your Life, the show that's all about saving, spending, investing and enjoying your money. My mission is to help you make the very most of every dollar. First up today, Kochie's Budget Challenge. Every week, with the help of the team at Compare the Market, we show real families how to find better deals on their biggest bills and save potentially thousands. So let's meet Zoe and Mason. First-time parents Zoe and Mason have two bright sparks, 3-month-old twins, Star and Sky. But living in Sydney comes at a huge cost, and don't they know it? So it's time to look at their budget. Well, Zoe and Mason, thank you for having us. I'm speaking quietly so I don't scare the two little treasures here. Who
Sky
are
was
they?
almost asleep.
What are their names?
Our twins. So this is our boy, Sky.
And this is Star, our girl.
Oh, what beautiful names.
Thank you.
Is there any story behind the names?
Yes, this is coming from my grandpa's interest. So he was always into kind of like astronomy. Okay. Even my name is coming out of a planet which is called Venus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in my language.
Two twins, was it a surprise?
It was a big surprise for me, at least. It was a very big surprise.
Yeah, we found it out in our first scan and we've both been crying. We're like, what are we going to do? And the first thing that came up into our mind was expenses. So
Immediately.
Yeah.
We're grateful.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
grateful,
yeah.
so happy.
Well,
Couldn't be happier.
As they say in the TV ads, they're priceless, but they do come with a price, don't they?
Exactly.
So what are your goals, financial goals at the moment? Is just sort of getting ahead, is it, or?
Of course, like we work on this house a lot, like renting a part and then all this renovation and everything. We are adjusting our goals, I think, at this stage. We were thinking about a bigger house for twins in the future.
Yeah.
But now with all this interest rate rise and everything, mortgage hurts. So we're also thinking about paying off our mortgages and
We put our other plans that we had on hold.
Right.
And we're kind of thinking about, do we have enough saving for the ongoing cost of raising these children?
So getting ahead of the mortgage, building that
right.
equity in your existing house so you can leverage to something bigger a bit later on.
That's
Exactly right.
And making sure these two little treasures have a great life.
That is the current plan, yes.
Yeah.
They're great goals to
exactly
have.
right.
All right, let's see if we can help you attain them and find a few savings.
Yay.
Come on in.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
I have had an absolute gut full of scams and the pain they cause everyday Aussies. So far this year, more than $159 million has been lost, and that's just the number that's been reported. These traps are becoming more sophisticated, with artificial intelligence used to create texts, emails, videos, and even phone calls that look and sound so real, people don't know they've been conned until it's too late. Regulators, business leaders and governments should be doing everything in their power to stop these crimes. But we all have a role to play in prevention. Here's what you can do to protect yourself from scams. Double check everything. Beware of generic messages that don't include information that's specific to you. Look out for spelling mistakes. Anything that seems a little off probably is not legitimate. If someone is promising you easy money, it probably is too good to be true. Don't feel pressured to rush decisions. If you receive an unexpected call or message, don't give up your details. Always contact your provider or retailer directly by visiting their official website or phoning their official phone number. And if you think you've fallen for a scam or received a fraudulent message, please always report it to ScamWatch. After the break, the 4 steps to successful investing. Welcome back to Your Money and Your Life. Now, are you one of the 10 million Australians, over half our adult population, who invest in the stock market? And have you ever questioned why you're not getting the returns you want? You wouldn't be alone. Investing can sometimes feel like a game of luck or something only those with the deepest pockets can benefit from. But that's not true. There are some key principles anyone can take on board to be a successful investor. Andrew Baxter from Australian Investment Education is here to tell us what they are. Andrew, what do successful investors do differently to us mere mortals?
Great question, David. And I think the pivotal thing, most people when they start on their investment journey, they focus on an outcome of profit. Their primary goal is to make money, which, let's face it, that's what investing is all about. But in my experience, I think there are probably two more important goals that sit before that. One is that you have to have some level of consistency in what you do. It's rather like making a cake. If you've got a recipe, you can follow the same thing over and over again. You get a consistent cake that hopefully suits your taste buds, and you can be quite satisfied with that. So consistency is the number one thing. The second thing on there, I think, is all about confidence. And that's that belief in the process that you actually have and that ability to really adhere to it rather than kind of freestyling it and getting bounced around with the news headlines.
You're really talking about the investor mindset, isn't it, up here? What's the secret formula to getting that right, that mindset right?
It's the million-dollar question, David, and I think so many people have an emotional attachment to money, which is totally natural. We've got to work hard for it, and so there's an umbilical cord that ties us to that, and that therefore then influences our decision-making because of that emotional attachment. I think removing that emotion towards money and being far more objective through a plan, through a strategy, is a surefire way for people to feel far more comfortable, far more confident with what they're doing. And ultimately that typically leads to more consistency and then the end game of obviously being profitable.
Okay, so you've educated thousands of investors in how to invest and trade in the stock market. In your experience, what's the biggest mistake they make?
Look, I think the biggest mistake people make, David, is they don't have a process and an ability to have some confidence in what they're doing. They might be basing their investments on luck initially, and unfortunately, as we all know, luck can run out.
So give me an example of putting that system into practice.
Look, if I think back to my first education client a long time ago, I started to work with him on a coaching basis, and the first thing we did was really scale back what he was doing to build some consistency in it, so that we'd do a trade where if it worked out, he was maybe making $100. Once we got that on a more consistent footing, we then increased the position size so that when he was getting it right, he was making 200, then 500, then 1,000, 5,000, and on from there. So it really comes down to that consistency and belief in the process to really get you there.
That is really fascinating. Tell us how we can find out more information.
But the best thing to do, heads up, we've got a whole raft of courses that are designed to take people that are novice investors or indeed people that are really quite experienced, perhaps to manage their own super, and help them build that game plan so that they can sleep at night. Hit us up, australianinvestmenteducation.com.au, or follow us on social media. There's plenty of places you can access us.
Andrew, great advice. Thanks for joining us.
Absolute pleasure, anytime.
In this week's Word on the Street, how much do you think is enough to retire comfortably?
Comfortably, maybe like 2 million. I think it would depend on a person's idea of comfortably though, so that might be a bit excessive.
An average person should at least have $500,000 to $600,000 for retirement, like for a comfortable retirement. Like, yeah, that should be minimum.
If I had to take a wild guess, I would say maybe 800,000, something like that.
I do have like contributions going to my super regularly, but I don't check it a lot.
They send me emails from time to time, so I'll check it quickly. But no, I don't look at it often. I don't think about it too much. 26, maybe I'll think about it a bit later.
I really want to go back to my home country and settle for retirement, and hopefully a house by the beach where I can just, do some gardening and like any old people dream. So yeah, just like a comfortable, peaceful life, is what I seek for my retirement.
Next up on Your Money and Your Life, the major milestone you need to consider when planning for retirement. Welcome back to Your Money and Your Life. Now, Australians are feeling increasingly concerned about retirement. According to new research from Brighter Super and Investment Trends, 71% of pre-retirees feel unprepared, and only a third said they were aware of their super funds offering. If you are planning for retirement, pay attention to the big 6-0. That's right, when you reach the golden age of 60, the rules for superannuation and tax change. Jennifer McSpadden from Brighter Super is here to tell us more. Jen, why 60? What's the significance of that age?
Well, 60 is a huge milestone for many people. It's a time when they start to think about all the things they've achieved and the things that they want to achieve. And that can look like thinking about life after full-time work. That can inspire a bit of anxiety in some people when they start to wonder, how am I going to fund this lifestyle that I've been dreaming of? But the good news is with superannuation, when you turn 60 or you're 60 years and older, you may be able to access your superannuation tax-free when you put your money into a tax-free pension account. If that's of interest to you, there are a couple of things you need to tick off. Firstly, you need to be age 60 or older. That's what we call you meeting your preservation age. Secondly, you need to have retired permanently from the workforce or have changed jobs after the age of 60. If you've done both these things, then you've met what we call a condition of release, which means you may be able to start living off some or all of your super.
Okay, so these pension accounts you mentioned, why are they beneficial? Because I suppose most people just automatically think of a lump sum, don't they?
Firstly, they provide you with a tax-free investment earning. Secondly, they allow you to withdraw part or all of your super at any time. And thirdly, the income that you get from your pension account is actually tax-free as well. And we know that for people who are age 60 or over, there's a lot that's going on in their lives at this point in time, and we want to make sure that they can access this tax-free income as easily as possible, which is why Brighter Super just recently launched our Retire Easy pension, and it is really easy. All they have to do is tick a box on our pension application form, and they will be able to get the minimum pension payment paid to them monthly. We will also invest their money in a way so that they have 2 years of pension payments in cash that allows them to pay their immediate bills and expenses, while we invest the rest of it so that it continues to grow over time.
Okay, all right. So when you are ready to retire, some super funds also pay a bonus as well, don't they? What's that all about?
Well, right now, our members can get up to $15,200 when they open a pension account with Brighter Super. And it's calculated based on the retirement reward rate that we have set for that financial year. And it does depend on the amount of money that you have invested in growth assets when you open that pension account. Recently, we have increased the retirement reward rate, which is great news.
Okay, so if you're leading up to retirement, how can people check that they're in reasonable shape?
There are 3 ways that we can help people at Brighter Super. Firstly, we have online tools and calculators where people can work out if they're on track and find out ways to get on track if they're not. Secondly, we have a retirement health check, which is a paid appointment with one of our financial advisors, either in person or over the phone, where they can tell you if you're on track and give you some tips to get you there. And finally, we have financial advisors who can offer you more comprehensive advice if you need it.
That's terrific. You do all the work for us. Jen, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Baxter from Australian Investment Education, and here's our stock of the week. Cochlear is one of Australia's global leaders, pioneer of the nucleus hearing implant. The stock has endured a reasonable sell-off over the past couple of months, seeing the price return to an attractive buying level from what has been a previously overvalued position. However, rather than simply value, Cochlear's earnings outlook continues to look robust, with a solid growth pathway ahead. Buying stocks after a fall is a challenging decision for many investors, but price and value are 2 different things.
After the break, in Kochie's Budget Challenge, Zoe and Mason's big budget surprise revealed. Welcome back to Your Money and Your Life. Well, let's return to Zoe and Mason, first-time parents who welcomed twins Sky and Star just a few months ago. The experts that compare the market looked at their bills and found some shining lights that will brighten up their skies. Wow, you've got a lot going on in your life, haven't you? Twins, mortgage, 2 car insurances, home and contents, health insurance, energy bills. Do you get time to rest at the moment, or is life so hectic?
Yeah, and you don't find the
is
time
hectic.
to shop around to kind of like find the best price for everything.
Right, yeah.
That's a sad part. You don't get time.
Exactly, because you really do have to hunt out the deals, don't you? So, look, the team at Compare the Market have gone through all of your bills and, look, they've come up with a whole series of thought starters for you. Let's start with the energy. And, of course, 2 little kids, twins. Of course, your energy bill is going to go through the roof. How tough is that? Have you noticed a big jump?
Yeah, it kind of doubled.
Yep. Well, we've had a look, and you may be able to save around $67 a year by switching to a cheaper offer. You're on a pretty good deal at the moment. One good reason you might like to keep with your current plan is because if you look in the points of information box, it includes a flexible membership to Taronga Zoo. Up to you to make the decision on how much that Taronga membership is worth to you. Let me tell you, it can be worth a lot, taking a couple of kids to the zoo, and of course, look out for the meerkats. They're our favourites, of course. You're on a great rate, 6%. You've recently checked around and looked at it. A lot of the banks have adjusted their fixed term rates down because they're expecting interest rates to fall sometime in the future. So some of them are down, say, a 2-year rate to 5.59% a year,
Okay.
which is a saving of about $449 a month.
Wow, that's a lot.
$5,300 a year. That's a lot. But the thing is, you do run a bit of a gamble thinking, how much will rates fall next year? And if you're on a fixed rate and variable rates drop below that level, well,
Missing on that.
yeah, it's a disadvantage. So maybe talk to each other and think about maybe doing a bit of a cocktail with your home loan, fixing half at this lower rate, keeping the other half variable. So you're covering both sides. So if you consider splitting the mortgages, you could reduce your repayments by as much as $270 a month on the fixed portion. The other big issue is health insurance. It's worked really well in your favour over the last year or so.
Yeah, of course.
With little Sky and
Yeah.
Star.
Yeah.
But you've told us you're ready to come off the top tier of health cover.
Yeah.
The team at Compare the Market have found a Bronze Plus option that would cover ear, nose and throat in case the kids get issues there, but could cost you $3,350 per year less.
Wow, that's
If you go to Bronze Plus, still less than half what you're paying now. And health cover is one you should reassess annually just to make sure that it suits your particular circumstances.
Because things change. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Good advice.
yeah. So, depending on the decision you make on your home loan, that cocktail of fixed and variable, the adjustments for the health insurance, the team reckon you could cut down your expenses by up to $8,900 a year.
That's a lot. Oh my God, I
That's
can't
a
believe
lot
it.
of money.
The team at Compare the Market are going to add $1,000 in cash
Oh, my goodness.
for you to use
Thank you, guys.
as
Really
well.
appreciate
So that takes it up to
That's
almost
nice of you.
$10,000.
Oh my God,
that's
thank
nice of
you.
you.
It'll make a big
so much.
difference.
Amazing,
Oh,
of course.
Big time, big time.
Good,
It does.
good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us,
Thank you,
and take good care of those 2 little treasures as well.
Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. That's amazing.
Well, that's the last episode of Your Money and Your Life for this year. Thanks so much for tuning in. For all the latest money and investment news you need to know 24/7, go to ymyl.com.au, and while you're there, subscribe to my free newsletter delivered to your inbox every Friday. Follow us on Facebook at Your Money and Your Life. And want to ask me some questions live? go to ymyl.com.au/Kochie-live and RSVP to our Facebook Live event, My Christmas Cost of Living Crusade. It's on December 4 at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Join me and compare the market to find out what you can do before Christmas to shave hundreds off your household bills. We can't wait to see you then.